I failed. Again. Again, I started something and didn't follow through. Again, I pursued my dreams and didn't make it to the finish line. Again, I didn't have what it takes.
Yes.
6 years ago, I gave my teenage dream of becoming an artist a last chance. And to my big surprise, this time it worked. It finally worked. I turned my hobby into a job and made money by doing what I love to do. What a dream! Financial abundance, traveling the world, or reaching other goals I had. Everything seemed to be possible now. After a while, I was making enough income by selling commission portraits that my husband could move from a full-time job to start working part-time. Childcare, household chores, or making an income, we split everything 50-50. I was living the dream. I had everything I wanted and all reasons to be grateful. But after this mountaintop experience, things started to change. Slowly, I began having feelings I never had before. More and more, I started to hate doing art. Let me explain why. When I decided to pursue art again, we had a 2-year-old toddler and a 4-month-old baby. My husband was bringing everything home that we needed, and I enjoyed being a stay-at-home mom. At that time, I had no desire to have a career. I just thought about making a little bit extra on the side to help pay off our student loans faster. As I was reading a book called Minimalism, I came across a very interesting question about how to choose the right job for you. What would you like to do every day, even without getting paid? For me, the answer was clear. Painting portraits from pictures. It has been a passion of mine since I was 15. I started practicing my painting skills when the kids were sleeping. And one day I set up a really unprofessional Etsy shop. I wanted to make it better later, but then completely forgot about the shop. But after a few months, people started to order. I never expected that and became so excited. So I invested a lot of time and energy to make my shop better. 1 year after giving my dream of becoming an artist a last chance and my decision to paint every day, my dream started to come true. The season when my income as an artist was just on top was so much fun. But now, being responsible for half of our income, I felt the weight of providing for my family on my shoulders. And I realized that my shoulders weren't built for this. I became super anxious and stressed because my income wasn't stable. There were months where I had too many commissions and some months where I just had a few. Before it was like, no commissions, no extra money. Now it felt like, no commissions, no food. And I started feeling so sad for missing out so much quality time with the kids. My husband and I took shifts with the kids so the other one could work. When he took them out to do a fun activity, I just wanted to join them. I wanted to leave my studio behind and just enjoy our family life like I used to. But I had just too much to do. I felt trapped in my studio, missing out on so many precious moments. And I missed the times when my husband and I just had fun together, going on date nights, having deep conversations, or just watching a movie. But we were too busy or too tired to enjoy our lives. Now, both of us were responsible for everything, and our conversations were mostly about who was doing what. About the grocery shopping, the window cleaning, the kitchen cleaning, the toilet cleaning. That was far away from romantic. Slowly, I realized that things sounded better in my head than the real-life experience was. No matter how many paintings I sold or how good the feedback from my customers was, the fear of not being good enough, the feeling of being a complete imposter didn't go away. Most of my painting skills came just through learning by doing or watching YouTube tutorials. Many times I just went with it. I didn't know what I was doing, and that made me feel very insecure. Creating art used to be something that brought me so much joy, meaning, and comfort. A place where my heart could just be, where I felt home. Making art used to be a healing experience for my soul, but now I felt just like a machine. I painted over 200 commissions, producing painting after painting. And just to make it clear, I love to give my customers something of value, something that had a lot of meaning to them. And it really touched my heart when I heard back from my customers, sending me pictures of my paintings hanging in their living room, or when they told me that the receiver even had tears in the eyes. This is what I really loved about my job. So, was I just being ungrateful? Never satisfied? I missed having time for personal artwork, for paintings that had meaning to me, or just to experiment and have fun with it without the pressure to make a good painting in order to not disappoint my customers. The lightness and playfulness went away, and what used to be a way to cope with anxiety and stress was giving me heavy anxieties and stressing me out. What used to be a source of strength was bringing me close to burnout. That's why I started to hate doing art. I closed my Etsy shop for the first time in 2 years to go on a family vacation. After the trip, I couldn't make myself open the shop again. Finally, I realized that I worked at a speed and intensity I couldn't sustain any longer. I felt how exhausted I really was, that my body and soul had been screaming stop for a very long time, but I was too busy and life was too noisy to even realize it. I was at a place where I couldn't make myself paint anymore. I couldn't enjoy it anymore, and that was really scary for me. So I wanted to give myself time to breathe and to rest, just for a few weeks. In summer 2022, we made a big move. From a tiny village on the countryside back to my hometown I love so much, the big city of Hamburg. It looked like a new beginning. Full of enthusiasm, hoping for fresh inspiration, I created myself a studio corner in the living room of our new home. But I just couldn't get started. Maybe I just needed a few more weeks having a break from art. But weeks turned into months, and months turned into 2 years. 2 years in which I painted almost nothing, posted nothing, and uploaded nothing. I felt like a huge failure. All my dreams had been so close. Now, they were further away than ever before. This summer, I stumbled over an interesting piece of information called The Emotional Cycle of Change. When you decide to take a risk to leave your comfort zone and try a new path, you start with uninformed optimism. After a while, reality kicks in, which leads to more and more informed pessimism, until you enter the crisis phase. There you can decide to completely give up or to continue your journey. with informed optimism. I could throw my dream away, or get up, dust myself off, and start making art again. It gives me so much hope that the negative feelings I experienced were pretty normal. It was a big transition from being a stay-at-home mom to being self-employed, and a very big shift from enjoying art as a hobby to making art as a job. This huge change just led me into a moment of crisis. A very long one, but still, this was just a phase. It doesn't have to be the end of the story. I want to continue my journey of turning what I love to do into a career, but this time with more wisdom. This time by working smarter instead of harder. Making commissions was a wonderful place to start with, and I'm so grateful for the opportunity I had and for everything I learned. But for now, I'm closing this chapter to take the pressure off and make painting fun and relaxing again. I'm looking forward to exploring other art-related streams of income instead, to find ways of doing creative work that are a better fit for me. I want to build a creative business where the people I love can stay my priority, where I can preserve my sanity, my well-being, and the joy of creating. I'm figuring out good rhythms to do creative work that are sustainable for me, not just for a few years, but seen from a long perspective. I'm on a new adventure of creating a life I can enjoy every day, not just hope that it will be better and less stressful one day in the future, but to bring wholeness, joy, and abundance into every part of my life, as a wife, as a mother, as a friend, and as an artist, to create a purposeful life with love, wisdom, and courage. And I hope you'll join me along the way.